Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the channel and another RawTherapee video at that. Okay, now I've had questions about this on and off for quite a while, and they're becoming a bit more common now, and that is graduated filters in local adjustments. And why would we want to make graduated filters in local adjustments? Because in Lightroom we can have multiple graduated filters. In Darktable we can have multiple graduated filters. And in Lightroom and Darktable, those graduated filters can be masked to exclude certain things in the image. Darktable uses a slightly more convoluted way of doing things with parametric masks and drawn masks as well, and Lightroom just uses AI, and of course we don't have really any direct masking facilities inside RawTherapee, not ones that are easy to get your head around. So this is why I'm going to do this video. What I'm going to do is share this image with you. So if you click the description panel below and open it up where it says show more, just click the show more bit, and you will see a download link for this image. And while we're talking about links, I'm also going to put in links to, if you go over onto my main YouTube channel and you go to videos and you go to playlists, and then you click on the RawTherapee playlist, you'll see two local adjustment videos that I made about 3 years ago. Local adjustments part 1, 13,000 views. Local adjustments part 2, 4,500 views. Well, 4.6, let's not rob ourselves. I don't quite understand that, because out of the two of them, number 2 was possibly more important because that covers the excluding spot. Yes, but neither video contain anything about graduated filters. So click the show more, go click the download link, download this raw file, and also if you want to, go and watch the previous 2 local adjustment videos. Right, let's crack on, shall we? So let's close down the old interwebs and come back to the picture. So you'll drag this picture into RawTherapee, and what we are going to do to this image, when it will decide to activate, is that. And then what we'll do is we'll go and beef up the building a little bit as well. But to get back to starters, what I'll do is I'll go and switch this back to my normal baseline, mybase.pp3, and that'll be it. We'll better start. And the first thing I'm going to do is to come into 100%, well, 300%, and I'm just going to remove this dust spot here, and we'll turn on spot removal. We'll make sure the button over on the right is down, active, so it's darker than its surroundings, and we will just come over into the center of the dust spot, hold down the control key, click, and then drag it over to about there, and then we'll go and turn off the tool, and you can see the dust spot has been repaired. Right, let's crack on with local adjustments, and I'm going to give you a tip here. If we go over to our preferences and you come to the general tab here, third one down under layout, default complexity for local adjustments. Have that set to advanced. By default, I think it's set to basic, but have it set to advanced. And I don't know whether it requires a restart or not, but if you go and click OK and then just restart RawTherapee anyway, you'll know you'll be safe. Alright, so the purpose of setting that advanced option there is when we actually turn on local adjustments and then go to add, you can see that it says show additional settings and it is already checked and active. Okie dokie. Right, so I don't really want a spot there. We need to come out to a fit to screen view so we can see what we're doing. And the first thing I am going to do, I mean, if you've been in a fit to screen view, when you go and click on activate adjustments, local adjustments, that will come on in the middle of your screen or the middle of the image. So it will be in a different position than it is here. But either way, it doesn't matter because we're going to change things anyway. The first thing I'm going to do is change that from the spot method from normal spot to full image. All right. I'm then going to make the spot size let's take it up to about halfway, and then I'm sort of going to move it over into the sky a little bit. Right, now we can't really do anything with this until we add a tool to it. And the tool that we add to this spot needs to be a tool which has the graduated filter facility inside it. And the commonest one to use if we add tool to current spot is the first one in the list, colour and light. Now we come to the first problem with RawTherapee, and to a point with Darktable, and this is scrolling through modules because it can get quite extensive and quite a laborious process. So if I click on settings, I actually don't need to get at these settings right at this minute. I need to get at the graduated filter in the tool. So just by clicking settings, I close the little twirly arrow at the left of the settings word. And so the tool is now expanded. And I need to come to graduated filters. And I'm just going to put a value in here. I'll take it up to about 0.6, 0.57, 62, that'll do. All right. Now, to get back to settings and not have to do a load of scrolling, I'm going to click colour and light, and then I'm going to click settings and open it up. And then I'm going to come into transition gradient, and I'm going to just make a little tweak there to feather gradient. And sometimes it can get a bit laggy, as you've seen here. It's lagging for me. There we go. So I'm going to turn it up to there, because that's quite a nice gradient that we've put on the sky. And ostensibly, that is the gradient filter done. Okay, because if we were emulating a neutral density filter that we put in front of our camera lens when we took the shot, that neutral density filter would cut straight across the building here, which is St Pancras Station, for those of you who don't know, and it would have cut, across here, so the top of the building will be darker than it is. Okay, so this way we're making a gradient filter which is only applicable to the sky. However, it's not quite like that. That's the visual look of it now, but it needs some refinement. Okay, so how do we refine it? Let's come into 100% so we can see the refinements that need to be done. And if you look around the boundaries, you can see some of the boundaries have got a halo around them. Some of the boundaries look a wee bit on the fuzzy side, and the best way to see what's going on is to actually click Preview Delta E. And so where we can see green, the image is being affected. Where we can't see green, in other words, where we see something that vaguely resembles a monochromatic part of the image, that's not getting any adjustment whatsoever. So we need to make some adjustments. And the first adjustment I'm going to make is actually to open up transition gradient and open up shape detection. And the first thing I'm going to do is to come to CH balance, okay? And we are going to crank that all the way over. See, this is getting a bit laggy with me as well. I'm going to crank that all the way over to the right hand side. And if you'll notice, there's an awful lot of green disappeared from the building. We'll do that again, put it back to where it was, and then we'll just go CH balance delta E, shove it all the way over to the right. Oh, look, it's moving on its own. Look, no hands, Mum. Yeah, right. So that's that. We are going to go to AE scope threshold, and I think we're just going to, come on, don't be sticky, and we'll take that all the way over there. That's sort of looking a bit contrary to what we wanted. So what could we do with this now? Let's look at taking delta E decay up, and you can see we are now getting a much better result out of that. We'll take it sort of down to 7.5, something like that. Now, you don't want to have a very, very hard boundary between what's being adjusted and what doesn't. It's a little bit like the way I describe masking in Lightroom. It's fuzzy masking, and fuzzy masking helps. This isn't masking, but then again, it's as good as masking. And you need to be able to have adjusted areas blend seamlessly with non-adjusted areas. All right, so you want them a little bit fuzzy. If you're going to go for hard-edged adjustments, they've got to be super precise for them to look correct. It's like masking in Photoshop. Done 100% correctly with 100% precision, it's seamless. But if you're not quite precise enough, it looks just really messy. So let's turn off Preview Delta E, and let's have a look at the image. And pretty much the edges don't look fuzzy. We don't have any halos around them, and it's nothing really wrong with it. Let's take it out to a fit to screen view, and let's turn off local adjustments. So there's our before, there's our after, and I think that looks all right, and I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to count it as done. So if you just follow my adjustments on this image, which I'm giving you to play around with, and then you can always go and try it yourself. We just want to check one thing, and that's right at the very top where we've got a dark object which is very thin, yeah, because it's just the lightning conductor and the weather vane on top of the spire. So we need to come in at 100%, and then I'll just use the navigator window for that and just check that, and that's looking seamless with no haloing. So I am, as I said, quite happy with that. But you can play around with it and just push it and pull it and change settings, and you'll gradually teach yourself what these sliders do, because I can never hold the definitions of all these sliders, because it's just such a complex and convoluted way. But that's really, if you just follow what I've done, it is really simple. But of course, it'll change for different images. But the basic building block that I've given you there will apply to most graduated filters on most images, but they'll need fudging a little bit. Alrighty. So the other thing I want to do is to just give the building a little bit of punch. So this graduation or graduated filter that we've put on there, I'm just going to click show hide to hide the spot. We've not turned the spot off, we've just hidden it from view. And I'm going to go add, so I've made another spot. And with me being in a fit to window view, that spot's coming at its default size of 18, and it's coming in its default position, which is smack in the centre of the frame. And it's actually on the orange brickwork of Paddington Station clock tower. So I'm going to change this from a normal spot to a full image spot, but this isn't going to be a graduated filter. This is just going to be a straightforward adjustment, okay? But it's only going to be pertinent to the brickwork in the building. And so all I'm going to do is add colour and light again. It is seriously the most versatile tool that you can add to your local adjustments to make them work. It's the one that works for me 99.9% of the time with least fuss, okay? Because that's what we're after, something that operates with the least amount of fuss. And all we are going to do is to work in this top part here. So we're going to add a little bit of contrast. Okay. Just sort of between 6 and 10, something like that. We'll add a little bit of chrominance. Okay. And are we going to make a gamma adjustment? I don't know, we'll just leave it there. And I'm just going to make a lightness adjustment and just sort of turn the lightness up. Okay, and if we hit preview delta E for that one, you can see that there are no adjustments taking place in the sky, and all the green, in other words the adjusted area, is completely and utterly focused on the brickwork of Paddington Station. So we'll take delta E off, and there we go. And whew, goodness gracious me, where are we? If I go back to now my profiles, my base, that's what we started out with, and that is where we've ended up. So there you go, guys. Click the little show more bit, at the end of what you can see in the description panel below. In there you'll find a link to the 2 previous local adjustment videos that I've made, and you'll also find a download link where you can go and download this raw file from my Google Drive completely FOC, because I'm such a nice person, aren't I? And you can go and play along with Andy. Yes. Go on, give it a try. RawTherapee. It's restrictive in a lot of ways, but, you know, I really feel sorry for the proverbial cat, because how many times has that cat been skinned? But this is just another way of skinning the same old cat. All right. Hope you found that useful, guys. Hope you found it interesting. Until the next time, stay safe, stay well, keep taking the pictures. If you've enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, because that really helps me. And leave a nice comment below and pass it around with all your mates. Unless you like me and haven't got any. Yeah. All right, guys. Stay safe, stay well, keep taking the pictures, and I'll see you soon. Tooroo.